Authorities in Hong Kong are investigating how a cargo plane skidded off the runway and plunged into the sea. The plane carried an Emirates flight number and ended up partially submerged with what appears to be a fuselage missing its back end, including the aircraft's tail. Two workers on the ground in Hong Kong International Airport were killed when the plane hit the vehicle they were in, pushing it into the water. Several crew members on board the plane were sent to local hospitals for medical treatment. CNN's Pete Muntean, our aviation correspondent, is here and joins us. So, Pete, what can you tell us?
Well, the images are clearly very dramatic. I'm now seeing signs that the plane went through the fence there, which is key as investigators start to look into this. 4 crew on board. They are safe, although, as you mentioned, 2 airport security staff have died. Airport officials say they were in a patrol car on a road just outside the airport fence. That car was apparently hit by this jumbo jet as it careened out of control. This is what's known as a runway excursion, and they seem to be happening all the time lately. It took place around 3:50 a.m. Monday, Hong Kong time. That's about 3:50 p.m. Sunday here on the East Coast. The 747 was coming into land on Hong Kong International's runway 7 left. The airport's kind of an island made up artificially. The plane apparently touched down and then veered left off of the runway, then swapped tail with nose, finally resting there in that inlet to the South China Sea. The question now for investigators, how did this plane lose control? There was no significant weather at the time of this crash, though airport officials say they'll be looking into runway conditions. Of course, they'll also want to look at the experience of the pilots and whether or not they were fatigued, because most of these cargo flights occur overnight, and this flight from Dubai, no exception. Thankfully, the crew got out okay, and you can see in some of these images the evacuation slides that were deployed from the upper deck of the 747. That's also where the cockpit is. There's also an escape hatch there on the top of a 747 that can be used by the crew in case they need to get out. You can kind of rappel down as if you were Batman or something. Not the first crash, though, involving this operator. ACT Cargo, ACT Cargo, headquartered in Turkey. They've had 3 total losses of their airplanes in the last 15 years. This leaves them now with only 1 747 in their fleet, the only airplane they have fleet-wide.
Wow, that is unexpected. Pete, there's also this United Airlines flight that was forced to make an emergency landing after a crack was discovered on the windscreen.
Yeah, and this has kind of got internet speculation running wild right now. This happened on Thursday. United Airlines Flight 1093, it was a 737 MAX 8, going from Denver, big United hub, to LAX. When at 36,000 feet, the windshield cracked unexpectedly. The crew declared an emergency. They turned to Salt Lake City, had an uneventful landing there. The images are now surfacing online, and it's caused a lot of speculation. Folks wondering if this airplane hit something, and what could that be? The good news is these windshields are very strong, but usually a windshield break in a commercial airliner does not prompt an NTSB investigation like this. So some people are wondering if it was space junk or a piece of hail or maybe a part of another airplane. We will see. I have a lot of water to pour on the space junk theory. The NTSB looking closely at the weather radar at the time to see if there was any sort of strange weather at the time of this accident that could have precipitated the windshield to crack.
Yeah, not a lot up there at 36,000 feet.
No doubt.
Yeah, Pete Muntean, thanks so much for
Anytime.
reporting.